Where you go though, because you weren't.
What's up, everybody? I wanted to share good news, guys. How's Daddy doing?
Awesome.
Aww. Super good, huh? I don't want to totally interrupt your story. You guys can do that, and I'll come join
Go
you.
hug your daddy and then come sit down for the story. Everybody hug daddy. I shoot. Oh.
I like your hair, buddy. Maybe you can tell us about your hair in a little bit. Yeah.
Ashton, come here, Libby. I'm gonna need you.
Man. You're on video in your pajamas. I'm not wearing my pajamas, but I am wearing clothes, so we're good. What's up, Wire Care? Hey, look at this. People are already online. You guys are rad. I can't wait to tell you all about what's going on. But I'm a loud talker, and they read right now. What are you guys reading?
Lyle. Hats off to Lyle.
Hats off to Lyle.
Friendly Viking. Okay.
Friendly Viking. That sounds good. I used to have a rad snowboarding hat that had horns on it. It was like this Viking cap. Okay, but let's not waste time with that. Let me tell you guys about what's going on. So, since I got back from SEMA, I have been lifing incredibly, like really good. The next morning, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go upstairs so I don't bother everybody. I hope you guys don't get like seasick or something. I'll sit down in a second. I wanted to just do that because I was like, look at me, guys. I was down there with the family, and I've been there the whole day for like, I don't know how many days has it been. I don't know, a lot, more than a week. It's just crazy. So it is. It's like straight up healing. It's not that I don't have any symptoms or anything like that, but like cognitively and spiritually and like, gosh, even neurologically, it's like I'm just recovered. It's crazy. Like I still have limits, but like I'm so aware of them, and I'm able to like pre-plan, like a really good routine, takes such good care of myself that they're not a huge issue. So it's just going so well. Let me tell you that, like this story. Oh gosh, there's just so much to it. Okay, but SEMA was really good for me, and I don't just mean because it was fun and it was a bucket list thing and all that. That was all incredibly and awesome. But Christy was like, dude, that's the first time you've ever planned and executed your own trip by yourself. And it's true. Like no caretakers. I did it, and thankfully, Ken and Adam, a bunch of you guys were there. Josh, I mean, a bunch of you guys were there, and took Brad. All you guys took turns taking care of me. But yeah, of course, Emily and Aaron, everybody. But I was really on my own, and I did it. And it was a big deal. I mean, going to the biggest automotive anything in the world and displaying your car by yourself, and getting your car ready for that. So somehow I made it through all that. But like my therapist has said, or rather my, cognitive, what is he called? My brain retraining guy. He says success is fuel for the brain. And I was so successful at that. My whole goal was just to make a difference every day with every person that I met, and I really felt like I did. And yeah, so the right things happened, and it was really fun. It was cool. The kids are all running around. What are you doing? Hey, you're funny.
Pink face?
Pink face. Oh yeah, you do. I love you. Mm-hmm. You're a cutie. Say hi to everybody. Hi. All right, stay stoked, and then head on to bed. All right, no, head on to bed. I know. Okay, but Daddy's telling a story, and it's your bedtime.
No, it's not my birthday.
No, bedtime. It's your bedtime. Are you trying to get a present out of me? Your present is a good night kiss. Ready? Okay. I think if I turn it around, maybe. Go to bed, go to bed, go to bed. All right, so here's the deal. I came back from SEMA on full stoke mode, and normally it would take me days to recover, weeks for something like this. Like I just go off grid and, in the room, just whatever. But this time I was like, dude, the mini staying's on there, and I'm gonna leave it on there and get settled, because that's all the tools I need. And that's what I did with SEMA, was I really pre-planned, like, okay, what tools do I need to be successful? Like, I'm going to wear my headphones, I'm going to bring my mobility scooter, I'm going to use it. And all those things really helped me survive. It was so cool. And so I've just been learning that if I really prepare, and again, I'm becoming more aware of how this works. This little thing works. But and I'm learning how to plan to be ready for. I'm gonna shut the door because they're going to bed right here. It's so cool, you guys. We're doing like tiny home living in our big home, but like all the kids are sleeping like in one room together right now, right next to us. It feels like the boat, and it's just because like we just need to be together right now while we go through all this stuff, and it's been awesome. So yeah, I'm now a part of every minute of their day, and so I get to be a part of this tonight. Christy wanted me to do this, so I'm here, and I'm glad that I am. But okay, so I had all the tools, and I was like, dude, tomorrow is Sunday. I could go to church with Christy, and that would be awesome. Like, I'm not going to tell her just in case it doesn't work and all this stuff. But, if I went, that'd be awesome. And I've got all my tools ready, and like I'm on full stoke mode. Let's see. And so, they left like they always do. And that was good because I was going to come in late, like, avoid all of the kind of triggers because that's a very difficult environment just because I had my seizure in that context. So my body is very like, it reacts without my say so or desire in any way. And usually it causes a lot of problems. But yeah, so I went in Mustang, which I know is a tool. Like it keeps me super stoked going there. And even when it breaks and whatever, I think I ran out of gas or something happened. But it worked out. The mini Stang slid off of the rack. I always do a little like lap around the alley just to make sure, and I'd forgotten a strap, so it kind of went punish Stang on me. It didn't fall off, but it rolled a bit. So yeah, it was just like overcame that, was on success, fuel for the brain, right? So I get to church, and it's fun because like well, it doesn't matter. It's fun because it's not in a disruptive way, but the kids hear the car and they know I'm there. Like they told me afterwards, they're like, "Daddy, we knew you came to church." I was like, "Did mommy tell you?" They're like, "No, we heard you." And it just makes me so happy. Like, I mean, it's really cool that it's becoming kind of a part of our family identity. And so thank you, Kramer, car cams, and yeah, those side pipes, because they've made a big difference. Yeah, so super cool. Anyways, I came in the mobility scooter, and I mean, it's a mini Stang. It's pretty wild, but whatever. And there was a handicapped space right in the row that I know Christy sits in, and so because I've surprised her with flowers, and done a few things where I just like was just jet onto campus or whatever. And yeah, I guess she wasn't there, but I was like, cool, I beat her there. And yeah, I texted her that verse that Jesus said when he got lost. Well, his parents lost him, but really, they moved on. Anyways, they were like traveling and realized he wasn't with them, and they had to like backtrack. And he was at the temple, and he's like, "Didn't you know I needed to be in my father's house and about my father's business?" And it was like, dude, I texted her that verse, and I guess someone was like, "Isn't that your husband over there?" So she came over, and she was pretty stoked, and yeah, she just held my hand, and I was in my chair, and I had all my stuff ready, and my headphones on, but I had like, my art ready, and my like all my kind of like Zen stuff if I needed it, and I didn't need it. And super cool, you guys. Man, I don't know if I want to tell this part without Christy. Okay, let's look at comments real quick because I think she'll be done with that soon. And I hate to leave it at a cliffhanger, but I won't leave it. How do you? There we go. How do I do this? That's what I want. Awesome. You guys are rad. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Awesomeness. I'm still learning how to do this. Yeah, this is good. So, okay, so I'm at church and things are going really well, and that's a big deal. Big deal. And yeah, so the service is on Lazarus, or rather, I'm sorry, Christy had read that verse about Lazarus, that she's been praying over me now for 3 years, which is like, the sickness won't end in death, it'll end in God's glory. And we're seeing that, you guys, because it's like straight up healing right now. It's just crazy, and it's every day. It's just getting better. My friend Mickey came over, and oh my gosh, like 3 people came over, and I was cool with it. Like I was around, and like, oh man, it's like all the things I'm doing that I like haven't done in 3.5 years. Like it's daily new things. Oh man, you guys. Today, I cooked dinner for the whole family, and I don't. Well, I mean, I guess I realized it, but like Christy was like, "Dude, you haven't cooked for the whole family since you got sick." Like she's like, "You had a couple of failed attempts at breakfast," and yeah, like I would like I my degree is in hotel restaurant management. Like it's something I love to do, and um yeah, I made like a really good like well mannered or well rounded the whole thing, and it was warm and ready. I had it like in the oven and was multitasking. They were playing the radio and the kids were running around. And it was like, what? How how is this happening? And so I will tell you. Sorry, it wasn't the Lazarus. The scripture that the service was on was the centurion, which is basically like a big officer in the army. So think like SEAL Master Chief or something. Um, Jesus, I forget what Jesus is doing. He's healing people, or he's maybe just walking somewhere, or feeding people. I don't know. He's doing something, and the centurion comes up, and he like I'll paraphrase it, but basically, he's like, it says the centurion was moved to great compassion because his servant was on the kind of like deathbed situation, and he said, Jesus, my servant is very ill and he's in terrible pain, and I'm filled with compassion for him. And Jesus is like, well, should I go with you and heal him? And he's like, whoa, no, like I believe you have the authority to heal him. I myself am a man of authority, and I say the word and something happens. Like this is how the military works. So if I have authority and can command something across town, you have the authority to to do this. And it says Jesus marveled at his faith, and tells him, yeah, go. And the servant was healed. And uh yeah, so they pointed out that there aren't a lot of times in the Bible where Jesus marvels at someone's faith. Like there are many times where the Lord marvels at people's lack of faith. Like the whole Old Testament is that, and much of our lives for sure. My own in seasons as well. And yeah, he marveled at his faith, and I thought, man, that's cool. Like I would love for the Lord to marvel at my faith. That'd be cool. And I've been taking a turn toward that, a big turn. Man, there's so many steps that I can't go into because I don't want this video to be like 3 hours long. But the steady course of step by step, slow and less slow, and sort of getting there, and now apparently just kind of like exponential growth in like sort of recovery from, I don't know, spiritual trauma, and not by anyone's doing, except the Lord's. And yeah, again, in a way that I think is coming around to, well, have done some amazing, incredible things. And so I'm grateful for it. And Christy and I keep talking about how like we know God better than we've ever known him before. And like our whole family is different. Everything is different. Like I wouldn't trade it. And yeah, so I get what Paul says. Like I count all suffering as like joy, because it's like, yeah, God's gonna do something awesome with that. And so yes, but also praying for healing. Yeah, because I want to be here for my family and for you guys, and I want to keep making a difference. And eternity is a long time. I want to enjoy this part because this part is limited and that part is unlimited. So if I get there late, I still get the whole deal. Okay, so I'm looking at the thing like, wow, what would it? Okay, so like, because I'm very more literal with scripture now. For instance, mom and dad, this is something that came up and I'm learning scripture with kids because they're going to Christian school, and learning the Bible, and I do homework with them. What? That's a new thing. And now like all the time, and really like TV dad good, like really reading with them and stuff, and it's not giving me headaches or knocking me out anymore. It's so cool. And so like all this is just since we got back, like, and just since this Sunday that I'm telling you about. And so yeah, it's just like totally incredible. And so I'm sitting there, and I go back to the Bible on my phone, and so I tune out a little bit. Sorry, Pastor Steve. Just to look at it, and right. So back to my parents. Sorry. We're looking at the Ten Commandments, like one of the simplest things, right? And it's like honor your father and mother. It's one of the, I don't know which number it is, but and the verse goes on like, so that your life will go long and well. And it's like it just stuck out to me one time, like, wow, here I am, like praying every day, to see, to be healed and live a long time. And like, when was the last time I texted my parents? And you know, there was a big barrier for me for a long time because like just the way they wanted to communicate and the way I was able to communicate neurologically just didn't meet up well. And um, I just decided I was going to work around that and figure that out. So mom and dad, that I when I got to the cabin with you guys last time, I grabbed your phones and I hooked up all of you guys with your social media accounts and then turned on notifications so you don't have to navigate or learn those social medias. You just get kind of like tuned in, and our relationship's been a lot better, and we've been able to talk a lot because now Instagram is sort of like mini emails, which my dad loves emails and I love Instagram. So it's all working out really, really well. And we're staying really connected, and I feel like I'm honoring them. I hope that you guys feel honored and loved because I really do love you. And so I've been taking scripture more literally, and I was like, okay, well, let's just like look real quick and like, what did he say? Like what? And I just noticed it was interesting is that like he didn't even ask. He said like, oh, my servant is like gravely ill and in terrible pain, and then Jesus asked, like, well, should I go heal him? And he has this big faith, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. Like he doesn't define how God should heal him, or what that should look like. I just thought that was interesting. He really just kind of presented it. So that's been really interesting to walk out this week, and I'll get to kind of like this moment that led to kind of this change. But as things have been different, they're not all 1,000% better. It's like, there's still things, but man, I'm moving quickly, and it's like, so I, in the service, was like, okay, like I want to pray a prayer of big faith, like if that's what makes God happy. And there's a verse that we came across today that's like, without faith is impossible to please God. And I was like, whoa, like if He is enamored with faith, if He like marvels at that. And that's what pleases Him, like, dude, all right, so uh, you know I'm gonna go for it. And I was like, okay, so just kind of prayed like, all right, Lord, here's the deal, like I am suffering, but really it's everyone else who's suffering, like I'm not me. And it's hard, it's hard for the kids, and it's hard, Christy's had a life alone, with a new person, who was crazy, for a long time. It's like basically dementia and bipolar together, yay. But I've been making slow and steady recovery, and Lord's used a lot of things, and so like I said, Mickey had asked me like, well, wait, like, okay, you keep saying like you're healed and healing, was it all at once or in a moment? It's like, man, it's been steady steps of recovery in like the spiritual realm. When we got cognition ignition and started the cognitive therapy, I started making progress cognitively, and it's like that allowed me to then start learning again to like read, and that was really hard. But transitioning from learning with a doctor to in these tests to learning with life situations, and hitting the breaking point a lot, but moving that breaking point, and it's like, okay, that's all been going on. And so like God's been at work in all of this. And yet I came home from church, and like Christy helped me navigate out of there before the music and some of the stuff that we thought would trigger me. And yeah, I rolled my Mustang out of there, and I had a great time on the way home, and yeah, it was just better. They came home, and I was like, hey, so what do you guys do like now and tonight? Like, how can I do that? And I mean, Christy was stoked, and yeah, so I lasted, and it was crazy. And like I did the whole thing, like did chores and then school, and then no, I'm sorry, they do school on Fridays, so there was no school, but I was doing stuff, and did the whole nighttime routine, everything. And then the next morning got up and was like, hey, so like what does the morning look like? Like you get up early, and so she goes and reads scripture for 45 minutes out loud. And it's like, oh, that's awesome. Like I'll go do yoga right next to you and listen to it. And so I've been doing that. And then we get up and we do like, we get the kids up, and then they do their little chores and stuff. Then they go down to breakfast. I'm like telling you all the details. We do a devotional together, and then we eat breakfast, and they eat breakfast. I only eat, in like 45 minutes a day that I eat. But which is at night. Anyway, yeah, and then I make my dinner then, so I pre-prep my salad or whatever, and so that's been working really well. That's like become a thing now for like I don't know, 8 days or whatever. The thing is that I haven't missed a beat. Like it's been morning and night and during the day, and Christy's like, dude, I just want to follow you around with a water bottle and like film you while I drop it, and it just like clangs on the ground and you don't even react. Like, what? I mean, you guys have seen me have like complete panic attacks, like parkour my way out of places and like, you know, geez, like just from a noise or hit the ground, because someone says excuse me behind me. Like, yeah, like go watch the like I can't shop, I have a brain tumor grocery video or whatever. That was insane. And for like I can't be around. I don't know how much you guys understand, because a lot of times when you see me, it's like when you see me I'm doing great. I'm on full stoke mode, but like a lot of that's like because I'm on my own doing these adventures, and like when I'm home I have to be alone as well. And um not anymore. I mean, I've just been around, and like the thing is the kids are like, I mean, they're just noticing, and it's like, wow, what happened to daddy? It's like, well, we told him, like, well, I mean, God's healed him, and like, but now it's like, okay, but I'm still a different person. Like I've been through a lot and I've changed, and I do have a different personality. I mean, they took part of it out, but it's not bad. It's good, but we have a different relationship. I have different limits and different capacities, and they've been, through trauma. Well, really all of them. Because if they, yeah, I mean, well, they've all been an instantly blended family from 3 to 6 within a month, and then, yeah, I mean, the youngest ones, which wouldn't remember necessarily the seizure and all of that, were going through the like inter our family phase, and during chaos, and the older ones, watch daddy go to the doctor and not come back the same. But I'm suddenly so much back, and yeah, so we're just figuring out like how to have a relationship now, because for so long it was like, whoa, be careful with daddy. And it's like, yeah, I'm around and I'm not getting ragey or like weepy, and like it's awesome. And so yeah, it's like it's just awesome. But I did like on day 4 or 5 like start getting a headache, and then getting a little like nauseous. But then I remembered like, oh yeah, dude, I have that diagnostic from my dietitian, and like because of my crazy diet, like the drink. So I weigh like 135, and I have to drink 135 ounces of water a day. And so like, but I also have to sleep, so I try to drink it all like earlier in the day, but I hadn't because I was just so busy lifing. And Chrissy pointed out that like, like, and even just like my Fitbit thing, she had me look at it, but like I'm walking like 10 miles around and I don't leave the property. Oh, except I do now. I've done more than an errand a day, which is like I had worked my way up to I can do one errand a day without freaking out. But like I've done up to like 4, and some of them are like real adulty stuff in the last 8 or 9 days. So it's like it's so good. But I am taking really good care of myself. Like we're twice a day we're just doing like 45 minutes of scripture, and I'm doing yoga in the morning. I'm spending time in the garden every day, and this is crazy. So this is something we like actively prayed about and like sought after, and I've been working diligently toward, which is I wanted to grow as much like my own salad every day. And I eat like a $5 spring mix box every, so like that's $35. I can math sometimes now. That I could save a week. And dude, I had extra. Like what? And it was good. Like I just had the most epic burger that I made, and it was wrapped in like, yeah, leaves that are like as big as this logo all around, and it was amazing with avocado fries. What? I just made that up. They're so good. Anyway, I've been making up good food. Like what? Like how am I doing all of this? So okay, so there's that. But I did get sick, and it was like, oh man, like, but we realized like, okay, well, you still have to take really good care of yourself. I have not been seizure free, but they've been dramatically reduced. So it's like I think that I mean I still need to take care of my body. There's still stuff in there, but like we really think, and this is something we prayed really specifically for, is that the Lord would heal me from the damage done by brain surgery, because a lot of people do have surgery and they're okay. Like I'm part of the point like 0.9% uh of people who have like serious brain injuries and damage because of this surgery. And so like yeah, all of a sudden I can cognate. And so we decided I'm like healed cognitively, but I do still have limits. If I push it too far, I start braining out and getting that brain fatigue. And but I'm not getting grumpy and stuff. I'm just like getting foggy and yeah, it's and sleepy, which is like, well, that's curable, and just drink some water and go to bed. So we're taking really good care of me, and I'm lifing better than ever. Okay, gosh, dude, there's a really great story with Ryder because man, like, he's been a angry and troubled kid as we've gone through this, and understandably so. His whole life got taken away from him, but yeah, I mean, it's like homeschooled, and I ran the church, and then I didn't, and they couldn't, it's like, but man, well, he recognized it so much that he ended something he had kind of chosen to do as like this is because of daddy, and he feels like that's over now because he's got me back. So, all right, well, I'm sorry for crying so much. Not really. It's kind of a big deal, right? Yeah, like a huge, humongous, and ridiculous deal. So, yeah, it's not perfect, and like for sure, I can't just like run around and take on responsibility, and stuff like that. But it's like I am participating, and Christy is not a single parent caretaker, like mom anymore. Like I'm doing stuff, and I'm even seeing and meeting needs. She was telling me today, like what, like you're assessing like, oh, this would help, and she didn't get enough sleep last night, and that makes life hard for her, because life is already hard for her, and like I'm just really tired, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do everything I can to help today, and like I just kept finding stuff to do. I mean, like I said, I ended up cooking all of dinner and like keeping the house super clean, and like just working like on the things I don't normally even see or do, and like she told me, it's like, dude, I feel so relaxed right now. And I'm like, that's good. That was the goal. And she's like, oh yeah. So it's going really good. Like incredibly, incredibly good. So I will wrap this up. But let's see. Yes, Busted Classics. What's up, Bart? How are you, man? Yeah, thank you. I really am making a difference. I'm encouraged by that. I don't mean that. I mean that with great humility. But like, I've been screenshotting every time someone leaves a comment like, dude, this has really encouraged me in this way, or see, I found you this way, and now whatever, like, but specific stuff, I just screenshot it. It's just kind of like a file of like the good things that have happened because of this, and again, the sickness will not end in death. It's going to end in God's glory, and it already is. So well, it's not ending, I hope, but yeah, dude, you will see me at Zip Tie Dragons. I will never miss that. Like, never, ever, ever. That's what started all of this, the bucket list living, man. It was like, I don't know if you know that part, Bart, but like my license had been suspended, and I had been working to get the car street legal, and then all of a sudden I had a seizure, and I was like a month away from, or 2 months away from Zip Tie Drag. So my friends helped me finish the car. A friend drove my entire family, and then turned out my license was not suspended, even though I'd had the seizure and stuff. So I was able to drive it, and then I ended up racing Finnegan, and that's what started the whole roadkill ridiculousness that is now the Imperial Beach Dad Punished thing. Which, by the way, everybody go read the story. It got named the most inspiring Mustang at SEMA, which, again, the biggest automotive trade show in the world. And so go read that on roadkillcustoms.com. It's a really great piece. All right, you guys, speaking of peace out, and stay stoked. I wish Christy was here, and I wish Ryder was here to tell the rest of that story, but they're not. So you guys, I love you, and stay stoked.